This is one of those days where it's just amazing to come to work because joining me on the air right now is the 23 ACM Award winner, 12 American Music Awards, 17 Billboard Awards, 13 Grammy nominations, 2 wins, and the top-selling solo artist of all time. On the phone with me is Mr. Garth Brooks. Good morning, Garth.
Hey, good morning, John. Wow. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, look, you're going to have to let me fanboy out a little bit to geek out. You are probably my favorite recording artist of all time.
Oh, man, very, very sweet. Thank you. The whole story that me and you just talked about, Central Park, man, that's the sweetest story on the planet, man. That's cool. That was a wonderful night and a wonderful place.
Yeah. Now you are known, of course. You are the master of live performances. You have basically you kind of changed the entire game for what people expected a country music concert to be. Your shows have always been amazing spectacles. Can we expect the same kind of like huge spectacle that everyone that has ever been to a Garth Brooks concert comes to expect?
You know, we call it the freak show because it's so stupid and it's so loud, it's so bright. I mean, it's all that stuff, but for me, that's what concerts are all about. So. And you just got through playing Good Ride Cowboy, who was the king of the live performance right there. I mean, as you get older in this business, they'll say, hey, I went to see somebody, and he's doing what you did or whatever, and I stop everybody and go, hey, look, we ripped off everything Chris LeDoux ever did. So that was that's my guy, and, yeah, that's kind of what the shows are kind of modeled after.
Now, you took some time off, of course, because you said the greatest job you've ever had is being a dad.
Oh, amen.
And so you took some time off, and your fans stayed loyal. But were even you surprised at the monster demand for this tour when you went back on the road?
Yeah, man, we've been humbled, stunned. I don't get it, but people are so sweet. They're showing up with great attitude, and they're showing up in record numbers. And this is very sweet, man. It's a storybook ending that that you could try to write, but even if you tried to write it, it wasn't going to compare to it. It's amazing how people have been so sweet to Miss Yearwood and I, showing up and taking care of the band, the crew, everything. It's like coming home every city you go to.
Well, now speaking of Miss Yearwood, when y'all started singing together and y'all's voices blended, that was basically a force of nature. I mean, seriously, the two of y'all came together. Y'all won a Grammy together. Is now Trish, I know, is opening. Is she going to be joining you on stage as well?
Yeah, man. I wish I could explain her role in this tour, but it's just impossible to explain until you see where it's at. I've never seen anything. I've never seen another tour where the people or the artists come and go like this one. So pretty cool. It was kind of born out of necessity. We had a huge flood here in Nashville in 2010, and so to raise money, we put together what we called the flood relief shows.
Yep.
And in there, we found this formula on how to do it as two artists together, and it works unbelievably well. So I would love to tell you she doesn't open the show, but she steals it. I can guarantee you that. And it's pretty cool to be standing out there shoulder to shoulder with her because you talk about a singer. This is what singers are supposed to sound like right here.
Well, she is a masterful singer. I mean, there's not a track she's ever released that has not been perfect. I mean, pitch perfect. So yeah, so I completely agree. I'm a big fan of your wife's as well. So
thank you, and yeah, that's it's pretty fun to be Mr. Yearwood. That's kind of what they call me here on the farm, because they know she wears the pants, and it's a lot of fun. Your children are healthy; they're off on their own. Kind of world. All three of them are in college. And you're getting to tour the world with the love of your life, playing music. I don't know how it gets better than that.
I don't see how it could. Now, another great thing about you, Garth, is I don't think anybody understood the art of the music video better than you. You came along at the time where you basically, a lot of country videos were basically sort of straightforward performance videos. You understood that it had to be like performance art. It had to have a theme, and a lot of your videos were not only controversial, they touched on social issues, all kind of stuff. So, in the grand scheme of videos that you filmed, what were a couple of your favorite video experiences?
Well, I don't know, man. Favorite video experiences and favorite videos might be different. the ones that you would never do again, just because the level of intensity of them was Thunder Rolls.
Yeah.
A thing called the Red Strokes. You went through 6 or 7 grand pianos, and I think there were a dozen tuxes, that were kind of painted in that one. Those things, I don't know. Those are kind of things. And then you look at some of my favorite videos are probably the ones off the live records, because then you remember those moments like Central Park or Texas Stadium, these kind of things. So I like video. I like video if it brings something new to the song. If it doesn't, then my thing is the music's powerful enough by itself. So it kind of finds its own way.
Now, I'm a big B-track guy. And so one of my favorite tracks that you have ever recorded, being a big old Irish boy, is Ireland. Now, when you tour overseas, is there still a big demand for that track?
Yeah, man. Europe is kind of funny. Europe will have a lot of the songs that you don't have over here, singles throughout, Spain and stuff like Burning Bridges, and Brazil, Standing Outside the Fire. That's the Friends in Low Places down there. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. You go around the world, and it's fun to move in, do your research, and go, okay, now the set that totally changes. You guys have to rehearse because they haven't played this song in so many years and whatever. So it's neat that, the bottom line is that the music is accepted by the people, and it's neat that it's accepted just in different doses depending where you are on the planet.
Well, now I'm sure I'm kind of of the '90s generation, and I know that my experience is not unique. For years when I was young, I thought I was too cool to like country music and stuff because you kind of rebel against what your parents were listening to. And so it took me a while to come back and realize that Patsy Cline was genius and Johnny Cash and everything else. But I tell you what, Mr. Brooks, you were the one that brought me back to the genre. I remember buying your albums, and I would actually order and go to the record store and wait for the new Garth Brooks album. And so you were the gateway, and you introduced me to Chris Ledoux, and you brought me back to George Strait and all that. And I think a lot of people will probably say they had similar experiences.
Oh, that's very sweet. I know Strait was my guy. He was kind of like the artist that you found on your own. My dad had Haggard and Jones, and really you kind of give into the fact, well, I'm never going to find an artist like that. And then here comes George Strait, and here comes Keith Whitley. Here comes Ledoux. Here comes Travis. I still think Randy probably did something that no other artist in history of any other format did, and that was turn a format totally around, head it back in a traditional way, and make the format bigger than it was before we got here. So I'm a huge fan of those guys, man. They're my heroes.
Well, you are the biggest tour in the world, of course. Now, what do you like, specifically about your new album, Man Against the Machine? What are some of your favorite parts of the new album?
The crazy thing was I didn't write much on this record because I just didn't trust the writing muscle. I don't know if it would come back after that long off. But what was crazy was cutting songs from writers that were raised on Garth stuff. So the way they wrote, the way they turned a phrase was very familiar to me, and I couldn't figure out why until one of the kids, they're all babies now, and one of the kids come up and go, "Are you kidding me?" He says, "You're my guy, and this is what I was raised on. My mom played your music every day," and he goes, "That's why I write like this." And I'm going, "Oh, okay, this makes sense. You didn't think you were that old, but evidently time catches up very, very quickly." So that's probably my favorite thing. Things like Send 'Em On Down the Road. Love that song. Mom, since I didn't write it, I will tell you this. I think Mom's in the top 5 greatest country songs ever written.
I do too.
So it's, I was very lucky to get in the pool of songwriting that was going on in the town while we were making that record.
So now that you've gone back on the road, you've got a new album out. Has the bug bitten you again? Can we expect more stuff coming? You're not done yet.
We're actually, today marks a huge day for me. Today we're going to the funeral of the guy that started the music for me, a bass player named Mike Chapman. Mike has been on every record. He's been the heart and soul of it. So because of what he's been going through, he's been battling cancer the last 2 years. We've been in and out of the studio around his schedule. So what was supposed to come out probably earlier this year was supposed to move to the summer. Now will be moved to the fall. But yeah, it's a lot of Garth stuff. It's just going to be the first time that we've ever got to record without this cat. So it's going to sound a little different, and we'll see. Because again, man, I'll be the first guy to stand up and say this guy's the heart and soul of Garth stuff. So it's going to be the most Garth thing as far as writing, the music writing that we've ever done. And if that's a good thing, good thing or a bad thing, the people will decide that. I can't tell you that, but I sure am enjoying getting to write again.
Wow. Any more Saturday Night Live appearances on deck for you? You were so funny in that show. You're really a funny guy, and you're a funny actor. So, do you think you'd ever do that again?
You know what? That's probably the most uncomfortable you ever are is in front of a camera, acting when you're not singing.
Uh-huh.
Those guys make it easy, man. They work their butts off. You're there all week. You can't go home, but they make it easy. They make it fun.
All right. Well, now this has been one of my bucket list experiences, Garth, getting to interview you and spend some time with you. One final question.
Yes.
Is there still an icon or a new artist or a bucket list artist that you want to meet or record with? I mean, you're Garth Brooks. You've just about met everyone. Is there anybody on your bucket list that you have not gotten the chance to meet or record with?
To meet the only guy I ran from everybody. I ran from George Jones. I ran from Haggard. Cause I didn't want to meet him because I was afraid it was going to bring him down to my level. To real life. And so glad I changed my mind on that, and fate kind of did it, because I can't imagine not knowing Jones the way I did or not knowing Haggard the way I did. I'm still a straight guy. Anything ever get to do with him, I'm always going to say yes if there's any interest on the other side. And that's it. Just love playing music. A guy that you love to play music, that you can sit down and play music with all day, Keith Urban. Sweetest guy inside and out, and what a talented guy too. So just enjoy getting to be among people that have that kind of level with them. Again, man, JT's one of them. Well, both the JTs, James Taylor and Justin Timberlake. Unbelievable talents, and age just seems to hone their craft even better. So just love music and the people that make it.
All right. Well, Garth, I will be there front and center for the show on Saturday, July 30th. Tickets are going on sale at 10 a.m. this morning. We've been telling y'all all week long how to get them. Be sure you go to Ticketmaster.com/Garth Brooks and click on the on sale tips to create your account. And I'll be there with a big old grin and a big old fanboy T-shirt on, Garth. I can't wait.
Well, man, thank you very much, and thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for Central Park. And most of all, man, thank you for your service. I love you, partner. I'll see you. Hopefully, get to see you and hug your neck there when we're in town. Okay.
Well, I'll plan on it, and then I'll be even more tongue tied than I was today. I'll be the guy going, "You're Garth."
All right, take care, John. I'll see you.
Take care.